They say every day is for the thief, one day for the owner of the house. But ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission, has reversed the role. It is now every day for the owner of the house. If you're involved in bribery, over-invoicing, or any shady deal, the day of reckoning has come. ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission, is watching you. If you're reported for any corrupt practice, you'll be investigated, prosecuted, and punished. Corruption is harmful to our nation. Join the campaign against it by reporting any corrupt practice to ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission.
Let we join hands with ICPC, make them better.
Let's make Nigeria great again.
ICPC, they watch you.
One hand for corruption.
Break the chain of corruption now. Don't give, don't take. This message is brought to you by ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission.
Good day, viewers, and welcome to our Children's Day edition of the program Corruption Must Go, ICPC's weekly television program. I am Hawa Garba. Anchoring with me today is
Aziza Jimo. Welcome, viewers.
Today on the program, we bring you up to speed on how the Commission has been engaging Nigerian children in the crusade against corruption. We shall also bring you updates on happenings in the world of anti-corruption, drama, ethics, values, and other interesting segments. But first, let us join Joy Aja as she brings us anti-corruption stories.
Stay with us.
Corruption not in my country.
Sir, I came here to find out what the progress is like, sir.
Oh, all is set for the commencement of the exams. Let's say about an hour.
I was thinking we could come to an agreement as to how to help the students.
Exactly what are you insinuating?
We would like to pay you for your cooperation.
Are you offering to bribe me?
No. It's some sort of compensation for your help.
By keeping away while the exam is on?
That's correct.
I will report you to the authority.
Report, Ken. No wonder some of you people die wretched.
What did you say?
I said that you are a man of integrity.
Offering to bribe exam official is corruption. And corruption, not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
Corruption not in my country.
Welcome to this segment on anti-corruption stories. I am Joy Aja. The acting chairman ICPC, Dr. Musa Usman Abubakar, has restated the commitment of the Commission to achieving its three-pronged mandate of enforcement, prevention, and public education. Dr. Abubakar made the declaration while presenting a paper at the 8th Commonwealth Regional Conference for Heads of Anti-Corruption Agencies in Commonwealth Africa in Abuja. According to him, the Commission has secured the conviction of many public officers and is prosecuting many more in various courts through enforcement. Under prevention, it has carried out system study of several government agencies as well as corruption risk assessment of a few others, and has developed many initiatives for educating and sensitizing Nigerians against corruption.
It is actually the activities of ICPC that led to the establishment of e-governance platforms of IPs and JIPMIS. And it is gratifying to note that over 100 million naira in personnel cost was recovered in 2013, and just recently, a minister said in 2017 we also recovered 68 billion naira because of the use of IPs. That is, to do with identifying ghost workers, and flushing them out of the system. Okay. Another important success of these innovations is one of the system study we conducted on Nigerian universities. That particular study, which is University System Study and Review, USSR, actually has also gotten that international recognition, and it's also being considered for international adaptation. And as a result of that, ICPC identified about 63 illegal institutions, degree awarding institutions in Nigeria, and they were all closed. And the proprietors of these institutions were prosecuted, and it also led to the development of a template for system study of educational institutions in the country.
Earlier in his keynote address, Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari, who was represented by the Vice President Professor Yemi Osibajo, noted that corruption was the biggest challenge confronting the African continent, and that anti-corruption agencies can change the destiny of the continent if they deliver on their mandates.
It has been rightly described as a crime against humanity because of the implications on the lives and livelihoods of all, especially the poorest. It undermines democracy and the rule of law. It distorts markets. It erodes the quality of life. It allows organized crime and terrorism to flourish. And it triggers needless wars and bloodshed. And indeed, much has been lost and is still being lost. A report that may be cited in this gathering is the one by the One campaign titled The $1 Trillion Scandal. The 2014 report claims that developing countries lose $1 trillion annually to corporate transgressions, most of it traceable to the activities of companies with secret ownership, and I'll come back to that point. Another report that may enjoy mention here is the 2015 report of the high-level panel on illicit financial flows from Africa, chaired by our guest of honor today, the former South African President, Thabo Mbeki. The panel concluded in its report that Africa has lost over $1 trillion over a 50-year period, and that Africa loses more than $50 billion annually to illicit financial flows. Most of these illicit flows are perpetrated in the extractive sector, and many through companies with hidden ownerships. The cost of corruption, therefore, imposes on all African countries and governments a moral obligation to fight it with vigor and political will by strengthening all institutions and systems involved in law enforcement, as well as in promoting a culture of transparency and accountability.
In a goodwill message at the event, a former South African president, Thabo Mbeki, tasked the anti-corruption agencies to mobilize the people to take ownership of the struggle against graft, saying that law enforcement agencies alone cannot do it. Also speaking at the conference was a former winner of the Nobel Prize for Literature, Professor Wole Soyinka, who lamented that Nigerian leaders have bled the country dry on account of their corrupt activities. The need for the recovery and repatriation of stolen assets stashed in several foreign countries, therefore, promises to define the thrust of the conference. In the drive to ensure a holistic involvement of stakeholders of the educational sector in the fight against corruption, ICPC, in collaboration with National Association of Proprietors of Private Schools, NAPS, held a mass launch of students' anti-corruption clubs for private schools. At a ceremony which took place at Titsol Global Schools, Abuja, and had private schools drawn from Niger and Nasarawa states, as well as the FCT in attendance, the acting chairman of ICPC, Dr. Musa Usman Abubakar, who was represented by Mrs. Azuka Ogugwa of Education Department, expressed his profound appreciation to the membership of NAPS for their decision to collaborate with ICPC in the setting up of anti-corruption clubs.
ICPC appreciates the National Association of Proprietors of Private Schools, NAPS, for their collaboration, and we also appreciate all the youths congregated here. All of you, we appreciate you and we are happy to collaborate with you. Now, you have enlisted as members of the anti-corruption clubs in the various schools. So it is an expression of your desire to shun corruption. We believe that your enlistment as members of the anti-corruption club means that you are interested in fighting corruption. Is that not so? Yes. So you really want to fight corruption, and we are happy to partner with you.
National President of NAPS and proprietor of Titsol Global Schools, Dr. Sally Aduku Bolujoko, had earlier explained that NAPS, as an umbrella body of private schools and professional educators, has been in the forefront of the fight against corruption through the provision of sensitization on the dire consequences of corrupt and sharp practices, especially in the area of examination malpractice. Describing corruption as an ill wind that blows no one any good, Dr. Bolujoko expressed optimism for the fight against the scourge.
Our very loving students, how are you? You are welcome to this occasion. This occasion is all about you and about your generation. We have gathered here to launch a club where you will belong and train and groom yourself to be better citizens of this country. The club's name is Anti-Corruption Club. Going to be based in your various schools. We are going to plead that this club be given special emphasis, special place in the activities of schools in Nigeria from now on. And I will tell you why. Reason is our country has lost all her values along the way. What I don't know, or even if I do know, I don't have the time to explain to you is how we lost our values along the way. Because I met good values in Nigeria when I was your age. But before we got to your age, this country has eroded all her values. These schools were out there, but I had to greet you good morning. You forgot that you will greet me good morning. But when we were growing, it was inside of us. It was inside of us. As soon as an elder is approaching, we greeted. And if the elder had any load, we carried the load of the elder. As soon as we saw an elder coming into where we are, we stood up and gave our seats to the elders. You no longer do those things. So that is the importance of anti-corruption club. Other values are there. We tell lies at ease. We go dirty. Corruption, I'll give you 4 definitions. And so you know that we don't even recognize corruption, as we have lost our senses of what is good. We no longer recognize what is good, as we don't even know when we behave corruptly. We are now come to a place where we regard corruption as a lifestyle. I thank God you have your notes. Copy the definitions, because in your clubs you will have to discuss these and many more. You will discuss the attitude in Nigeria and many more. You will identify them as you go to your various clubs.
The occasion attracted proprietors of schools, religious leaders, and other dignitaries, including the former chairman of ICPC, Mr. Ekpo Nta. That will be all on this segment. Corruption Must Go continues. Stay with us.
It has been established that there is corruption amongst children, especially in the education system, and that if students are able to bribe their teachers to get good grades or pass exams, there will be no motivation for them to work as hard as they should.
Also, corruption can influence the way we students view success. Some may feel that they don't have to work very hard at school in order to have a good life. Such a mindset, disturbing as it is, would be dangerous for the future of the country.
This is the reason ICPC established anti-corruption clubs in schools to help inculcate into Nigerian child the values of integrity, hard work, accountability, and honesty. Mr. Baba Ashiru tells us more about this.
Well, to start from the beginning, Section 6 E to F of the Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Act provides that ICPC should enlist and foster the support and cooperation of members of the public in the fight against corruption, and sensitize also and mobilize members of the public towards reducing corruption to barest minimum. So in order to approach the fight against corruption holistically, we decided that there is need for moral rejuvenation to revive the values that have been lost on us. And one way to do that is by catching the children young. And you do that by inculcating sound moral values in the children at their formative age. You know, children at that level in school, at that level, at that age 5 to 7, children, their brain is like what's called tabula rasa. You know, whatever they learn, it's like writing on the rock. It can never be erased. So at this point, we try to train them along sound moral values, you know, of honesty, respect for elders, respect for constituted authority, integrity, and what have you, so that they grow up very good citizens. If we succeed in doing that, we are likely to have a whole generation of Nigerian youths that have zero tolerance for corruption. We have close to 1,000 anti-corruption in various secondary schools across the country, both in public and private schools at the moment. And you will notice that you will notice the changes in the youth by the way they discuss corruption among themselves. They are now passionate about corruption, fighting corruption. They chip in their contributions, you know, during debates that we organize for them, youth competitions, writing competitions, and what have you. If you see the way they skillfully discuss corruption, even at home, you know, you observe that they ask questions, relevant questions that pertains to values, you know, and ethics, kind of, you understand. And then there was a time one of the clubs was to visit ICPC here, and a policeman flagged their vehicle down, you know, with the intention of doing the usual. And one tiny girl, member of the anti-corruption club, you know, warned the driver not to give anybody anything, you know, because they were members of anti-corruption clubs. So these are the kind of attitude that we try to build in them so that they grow up very good citizens.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're most welcome.
We have with us some students who are members of the anti-corruption club in their schools. Let's listen to them.
Welcome to the interview segment of the program. Today we have some students who are here to tell us how being members of the anti-corruption club in their schools have impacted on them. Let's meet our guests.
Hello viewers, my name is Happiness from the Secondary School Area 11. Hello viewers, my name is Obioma Miracle from Government Secondary School Jabi.
Hello viewers, my name is Ibrahim Abubakar from Junior Secondary School Garki Abuja.
Hello viewers, my name is Anna Oshita from Government Secondary School Jabi.
You are all welcome to the program. Now, can you share with us some of the lessons you have learned as members of the Anti-Corruption Club in your school? Oshita, you go first.
Well, being a member of the Anti-Corruption Club in my school, I've learned basic human values like honesty. I've learned to be honest in all my dealings because corruption is like acids. It can terminate the future of any nation. Thank you.
Very well. Happiness, let's hear from you.
Being a member of the ICPC club in my school, I have learned to be contented with what I have, not putting my eye in someone else's thing. Or because if you put your eye in someone else's thing, it can lead to stealing, and stealing is corruption. Impressive.
Abubakar, let's hear from you.
When I joined the ICPC club, I learned plenty things. Let me not be fighting, bullying, stealing. Thank you.
Thank you, Abubakar. Let's hear from you, Miracle.
Grand corruption, petty corruption, all of them are corruption, and they tend to damage the development of any nation. Greed is one of the major factors that enhances corruption, because when you want more, you tend to do all manner of things to get it. So to stop corruption, we must stop being greedy. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that wonderful answer. Now let's go to the next question. Now I want you to share with us what you started doing differently since you joined the club. Let me hear from you, Abubakar.
For when my mother is putting food for us, if she puts meat, I will not go back and put plenty meat. Now when I enter ICPC club, and I change.
Wow, that's very nice. Let's hear from you.
Well, ever since I joined the ICPC club, I've learned to be contented with what I have, not going astray or looking for every means possible to gain everything. And when I'm in the traffic, I always observe the traffic rules and regulations. Thank you.
Wonderful. Let's hear from you, Miracle.
Being a member of the club has been a turning point for me because I now stop people from engaging in corruption like bribery. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Happiness.
Since I joined the ICPC club, I gained many things. I learned that if I'm in exam hall, I should not look at my friend's book because in exam hall, my friend used to sit with me, so I used to copy from my book. Since I joined the club, I've learned that I should read and live and write and leave the rest to God.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Now, finally, I want you to give an advice to your fellow students, especially as we celebrate the Children's Day. Miracle, what advice do you have?
I will encourage the other students out there to stop engaging in corrupt practices like examination malpractice, and also to encourage their parents to stop beating traffic and also stop giving bribes and be honest. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Abubakar?
I've told my friends, let them stop doing exam and practice, let them not join anti-corruption, let them not join corruption, robbery. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on the program. Corruption Must Go continues. Stay with us.
According to the Global Corruption Report on Education by Transparency International, the manifestation of corrupt and unethical practices in the education sector, such as the embezzlement of national funds, selling of fake certificates, teacher absenteeism, or sexual harassment, if not addressed, may lead to the collapse of a country's entire educational system.
The future of this nation rests on our shoulders as the leaders of tomorrow. It is therefore the responsibility of all Nigerians to help in shaping of our minds and in effect our future in order to achieve the Nigeria of our dreams.
Remember that you can watch the program on our YouTube channel www.youtube.com/ICPC Nigeria. Also use our toll-free numbers showing on your screen to reach us.
Thank you for watching.
See you again same time next week.
Bye for now.